I just noticed I've been photobombed by Pepsi. Hello everybody and welcome back to this week's YouTube video. I finally tackled the kitchen chairs. You might have seen like 3 or 4 videos ago I stripped back my table. Well, this week is all about chairs and I treated myself to some trinkets because I had saved some money from upcycling, reflipping my table, and I got some new plates. I'm gonna get straight into it. Here's what I did and here's where I freshened up this corner of my kitchen. Here is the before of the chairs. They had gone slightly yellow toned. They had chipped all around the edges and corners. There was a few paint marks from the nibblings, but overall they were looking a bit yellow, tired and worn. To prep these, I gave them a deep clean with some crud cutter and warm water, and then I primed them. I scraped off the old paint and I gave them a coat of primer. This is Prime 2 by Colortrend. It's like a primer and undercoat in one, and Pepsi just had to get in my business. So here's the chairs with 1 coat of primer. I primed them on a Friday night and I let a full 24 hours to dry before moving on and giving them the top coat. I'm using satin wood, colour trend as well. I'm also using some 2 Fussy Blokes rollers. These are really good. This is the colour of the paint as well. If you want the details on the paint, this is the name. And I gave it 2 coats of top coat. Chair painting hack, because obviously I've painted the legs. I have to wait for them to become touch dry before I can flip them to do the top. But if you're doing a group of chairs, you can do like all of the legs, and by the time you get to the last chair's legs, the first chair will be touch dry so you can flip it. Now I have pre-done 2 of my chairs last night because I wanted to see how the colour looks. So behind me this side, I have that Chippy chair, which I'm going to keep Chippy, but I need to clean it. So while I'm waiting on the legs to dry, I'm going to clean the Chippy chair and I'll show you what I mean. Here is the Chippy chair and Pepsi. So the Chippy chair was just like the other chairs, but I was testing out some stripper and I didn't really like it. It was like an eco stripper and it went really, if you can see here, like it bubbled up and the residue was really hard kind of to get off. So I have like, you can see, I'll zoom in, there's like dust and dirt kind of over like in the corner, if you can see that. So I'm going to clean the chair down as much as I can. And then just like the table makeover that I gave like white wax to, I think I'm going to white wax the chair. So I'm going to get it clean as I can, and then I'm going to look at just popping some wax over it to tie it in with the table. I'm using the trusty crud cutter. I love this stuff. It's great at just getting through grind dirt. It says it removes wax as well. So I'm going to use this on the chair with a bucket of warm water and see if I can get like all that grime off it. Here's the fun part. Both chairs have to dry. The wood is raw. No, the wood is raw. So it's really porous and it's going to take a while to dry, and I don't want to wax the wood until it's fully dry on the Chippy chair, because it won't be good. You can seal in moisture and it can go mouldy. So what are we going to do while our chairs are drying? We're going to go to the shops. So if you've seen my table makeover from like 2-3 weeks ago, so I've done up my table, my chairs, all for like the price of a bit of paint. So I'm going to treat myself to, I seen these little plates in Duns, and I hope they have them. So I'm going to go to the shops. I haven't bought homeware in ages. I don't even know what I have an idea of what I want, but if I see it in person I mightn't like it. So I'm thinking pink pads for the chairs, new plates, style the table. Valentine's Day was the other day, so the fresh flowers might be on sale. And we're going to style up the table then when I come back. Now, my chair does need a second coat, but I can show you what that paint looks like because I did the other 2 chairs yesterday. And another little tip. Sorry, Blondie is scratching the litter box. Blondie! Blondie! She stopped. Take your time when painting. So for example, even though you watch like a video and I'll have like, it might look like I've done it all in 10-minute video or in one day. Like Friday night I cleaned and primed my chairs, let them dry overnight. Then Saturday night I gave my chairs 2 coats, and I think it's 4 hours between coats with the paint I'm using, but check the tin. And then you need to allow, like, no one talks about paint cure time, but you're looking at on average about 3 weeks depending on what it is you've painted. So cure time is after you've painted your piece, it's dry, it's touch dry. Yes, you can use it, but you have to kind of be extra careful for like 2 to 3 weeks after, because that paint will cure in that time, and it can take a bit longer if it is cold. So just look up cure time. It's something no one really talks about. And as well, with these being chairs, what I noticed, the areas where the chair is chipped is like, so all around here where the wood would naturally kind of move is where my chair is chipped. So that's obviously where there's movement in the chair, because obviously there's going to be movement in the chair because, you know, it has to have a bit of leeway. So it's going to be prone to chips around them kind of areas. Okay, enough talking about the paint. I was just trying to say, take your time, don't be in a rush to be doing pieces in a day, because you need to allow like paint is chemicals, it does its thing, it needs time to kind of dry, cure, heal, do its thing. Let's go to the shops. Storm Dennis is on the way, round 2. Storm Dennis was here last night, but he's back again apparently. So I want to get to the shop before the rain. So let's go. So I'm home and I wasn't too bad. Blondie's just inspecting this cushion. I'll style up and show like kind of what I got, but I couldn't find any pink seat pads. So I'm gonna have to like sew ones if I want them. So I just got some little like cushions that you can kind of just lean back on. So I went for like mismatched ones. So I got like 2 bougie and a floral. Then I just got my plates that I wanted, and they came in a set of 4 with the different prints. And I got some pink placemats, same colour tone, and a candle, because you can't go all the way to TK Maxx or Home Sense and not get a candle. Isn't that right, Pepsi? Pepsi, do you like the smell? Why do they always do that with their cheeks? So that's what I got. So now I'm going to give my chair its second coat, and I'm going to wax the other chair. So because it's been a few hours, so that other chair will take its second coat. But they're starting to take shape. table and chairs. If you can hear wind in the background, I'm really sorry. Storm Dennis keeps being like sunny and then rainy and noisy, so apologies if the lighting kept going in and out in this video as well. I'm going to link to the table upcycle where I stripped it back to its kind of bare wood. I kept the Chippy chair as well. Just has a bit of character, and I wasn't really arsed stripping the whole thing back and repainting, so I was like, you know what, that was a happy accident. Gave it a bit of wax so it'd look like the table, but I'm happy with it. The Chippy chair, and a photograph's lovely as well, so if you're like styling things or like photographing props and stuff, it looks really nice. I'll pop more pictures of what I took on the blog as well. Some of the stuff on my kitchen table you mightn't be able to get because I shopped from my house. Aside from the plates, which are currently in stock in Dunn's, I think it's Paul Costa's new collection. Then the pom-pom placemats are from Next, and you should be able to get them online. The likes of my coasters, the floral ones, they're old. And the likes of like my gold cutlery, I got that in Home Store and More like 2 years ago or last year. So not all of the stuff on my table you'll be able to shop because, and also my little flowers, I got that in Dunn's like 2, 3, actually probably longer, 4 or 5 years ago. And I just plucked it from another room in the house, so I shopped from the house. So my plan for the kitchen next is during summer I want to change the cabinets, but in order to change the cabinets to the colour I want, I'm gonna change the worktop, and I am gonna have to get help doing that. So what I'm thinking is I want to change the colour of my cabinets. We are gonna go pink, girls, which is why I kept this quite neutral. And off-white, so this is quite neutral because my vision for the cabinets is a bit more colour, and I want to change the tiles as well, so I'm probably going to get a contractor for that. I will prep it myself, but maybe the contractor might help me tile. Anyway, but that is my kind of summer plan for the kitchen, because I have painted that cabinets like God a couple of years ago. There's nothing wrong with them, they've held up so well. But I just fancy a little change. So I have a small budget to get a worktop and tiling done, and then I'll tackle the cabinets. But I just think, I'm thinking possibly herringbone tiles for the backsplash, and then the cabinets, and changing up the worktop, tap and handles. So I have to save a few more pennies for that, but that's it for now. I hope you liked this week's video. Cheeky thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all next week.